got thrown in a different spot because we had an injury last time, so she was rotating as a middle but hitting as a right. At one time as an outside, and she was all in her head. But she played well, just hitter. So, and varsity coverage is track. 6-0 start, she was state 16. Yeah.
Well, because they won state last year.
No, they were Final Four though. Like.
And Coyce has had a winning season since 2015.
It's the year.
Yeah.
It's the year. I have a friend who, I think he's a football coach or something, but a friend of mine here.
They
And I was
won.
just like,
What was final?
22. Oh, we could have stayed for the second set.
Yeah, I love the track team. They're good teams.
but
The Hall of
Oh, Jates or Hates from Lyman. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was his grandpa was the warden down there at the prison. I'm pretty sure. Because he came up and was the interim warden here.
Oh yeah.
I only know prison stuff and NJC stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, Alex is down there taking photos. I
Really?
haven't caught up with her lately. Alex is
Oh,
her hair's real dark.
yeah, it is.
All right, well I'm gonna go find my spot.
Okay.
Thanks for covering tomorrow.
Of course. Appreciate. Yeah, I'll just get you that memory card on Tuesday, and then.
If you can focus on our sophomores mostly, so 18.0, 12, 4.
Okay.
Oh,
7.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Especially we don't have a lot of 18 and and
Okay.
7.
Okay. Yeah.
18 and 17 for us.
Okay.
We've got quite a few of that, and we have a lot of Samantha. And
Fine.
22 though,
If
as
Lacey
Lacey
plays.
plays.
Okay.
I mean everybody, but
Yeah.
you know.
I have a couple from the other night I'll pull through and see.
Okay.
Because yesterday when I was trying to leave, so Dad was like, just give me this one, this one, this one, and this one. So I took a bunch, so I'll go through those again, see if I have any of the sophomores.
Okay, no worries. Whatever you have though, like we can totally just throw it in the picnic then. I
Okay.
will give you that login, I promise I will not
Okay.
forget. And then we'll yeah. I'll have you start throwing photos in there from time to time.
Alrighty.
All right.
Sounds good.
And then I'm trying to think, there's something else coming up that I'm gonna need your help to put the sign stuff on.
Okay.
It's all kind of down the pipeline. It'll happen in weeks. Okay.
Okay.
Stay cool. Have a good weekend.
You
I'm
too.
sure I'll be back on Tuesday.
They'll call an eye on him. Thank him for me.
Yeah, because Daniel clearly didn't get the memo.
Well, he sent me. He was just way behind Colin.
Fun. Well, Colin didn't really want to be there, so he was probably rooting for them to be done at 3. That's what I told him before I left. I was like, they're not going to sweep them, I hope you know. And then they did. Yeah, once this goes, my phone's at 40%, so I'll plug it back there. They never. Colin texted me. They trailed once after we left, at like 5-4 in the second set. That's it. I'm gonna have to walk like 800 miles to my car after this. It's still parked in front of Lyman because I didn't leave. It's like in like the second slot. That's always the worst, is after my class I just walk over to Jesse's and then I have to walk all the way back to my class. If you need anything from concessions, I might go down there in a little bit.
I'll be good. I have that piece of pizza that'll get me through till we
I
eat.
don't know if I will get something or not, but we'll see how I feel today. I feel gross again. I'd eaten so much junk. Because I'm never home. But it's fine. As long as I don't get over 200 pounds, we're good. And
Well, I'm over 240, so
I still got 30 pounds to go. So
I haven't been over 240 since Bailey was born.
Well, as long as it doesn't settle here, I don't care. If it goes anywhere else, you're just stress eating.
Well, good evening and welcome back into the Bank of Colorado Event Center for the final match on this Friday, the 2025 Sheila Worley Tournament, presented by the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm Ben Black. It's time for number 5 NJC, number 15 New Mexico Military Institute. These two programs have quite the history. They play a lot of 4- and 5-set matches. In fact, I believe in the history of the matchups between NJC and NIMI, no match has ever been a sweep. They play very similar styles of volleyball. They have a lot of power. This has potential to be the match of the weekend of all the great matches we're seeing here at the Sheila Worley Tournament. Our pregame show brought to you by Northeastern Junior College. From plains to possibilities, Northeastern Junior College has the educational path for you. Learn more about NJC and set up your tour today, njc.edu. Plains Open with the victory earlier today in 4 against Iowa Western, who just lost to Casper. NJC beat Casper in 5 yesterday, so it's their third match of the weekend, only one tomorrow night at 7:30 for the Plainswomen. And the Plainswomen, they're starting to maybe find their footing a little bit, find their opportunity on the back line. That was where they won the match earlier today. The Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen struggled in the first set with their backline play, came in, got much better control, and were able to figure it out. And in a match like this one, where New Mexico Military is a very similar mirror to you, you need to give yourself an opportunity on that back line to stay within your offensive system. And I'm not necessarily just focusing on the back line, because there's a lot of ways that setters can get out there, even if the dig isn't a 2 or a 3, even if it's a 1, and still keep you in your offensive system. And that's the thing that I'm really excited to see how, against Stella Carrere, that's going to test her in this, because New Mexico Military is going to get a lot of balls up. They have one of the best defenses in this tournament. They get a lot of digs per set. They block pretty well. So you're going to have to find a way to keep that portion of NIMI off balance if you're going to win the match. But the same can be said for New Mexico Military Institute. They have to utilize their setters in a way to keep NJC's block off balance, because NJC showed how potent that block can be. 7 blocks in a set earlier today against Iowa Western. This team can block with the best in the nation, can the Northeastern Plainswomen. So for both sides, how the setters keep it in the system is our key to the contest. Brought to you by Carpet Comfort Center, the largest selection of flooring in Northeast Colorado. The flooring you need with a professional installation. Stop by in the Broadway Plaza Shopping Center in Sterling. I'm going to take a break here. I need to get my wits about me. I just spent some time watching my daughter and wife, a local high school volleyball where Caliche beat Stratton in a straight set sweep just before I came back here to NJC. So I need to get my feet back underneath me. And when we come back, we'll meet the Plainswomen starters and have first serve next. It's NJC and Nimmy. This is Eastern Plains Sports Network.
I will let you know.
Yeah, like wave me down if I'm not by you. I will get it on video so we can mark the call on there, and we can get that up tonight. Even if we don't have a graphic yet.
I don't have a graphic. I was just going to do
picture.
Picture or video,
and then I will get a picture or graphic in the future. Because we're not going to have every time she finds. We're not going to have video of that. Well, at least one of the Caliche teams won tonight. I can't believe they just fucking swept the track.
Back in Northeastern Junior College for a little Friday night volleyball on the nationally ranked scale. The 5th-ranked Northeastern Plainswomen against the 15th-ranked New Mexico Military Broncos. I'm Ben Black. A pregame show is set the scene. Now it's time to meet the starting lineups for the Plainswomen. They're brought to you by Stubbs. Stubbs fans, when you're traveling, you need the one stop that has it all. On I-76, take exit 66A in Wiggins. For the Plainswomen, nothing has changed. It will be Caitlin Barnes, Taylin Epples, Stella Carrere, Natalie Moore, Kiera Loiu-Trey, and Samantha Mosley for libero Evie Gavette. Plainswomen have gone from their black uniforms to their white uniforms for this evening's contest. The libero for NJC, Evie Gavette, will be wearing gray. New Mexico Military in their blacks, white numbers for the Broncos, and red on the libero jersey, and that's Kai Sato that will be the libero. A lot of international flavor on this New Mexico Military roster. Couple from Japan, Puerto Rico, Argentina, Brazil, and Poland, and then some stateside players as well, mostly from the Texas and New Mexico area, given where their location is. These two teams met last year in the Laramie County Invitational, And the Northeastern Plainsmen won a thrilling 5-set match in that one between these two. And as we noted in the start of the contest, the Northeastern Junior College Plainsmen and the Nimi Broncos have never played a sweep between them. It's always gone at least 4. Michelle Milken, Drian Ramos Cora, Tessa Watson, Layla Ayala, Maria Konwerska, and Aniston Lustig, with Kai Sato as the libero, the starting 7 for the Nemi Broncos. Plainsmen going from right to left from our vantage point. Broncos from left to right. First set brought to you by Better Electric. Better does matter when it comes to all of your electrical needs. Residential, commercial, agricultural. 970-521-1030. Stella Carrere will start with the serve in her hands. Carrere, the freshman Italian setter. Had a great match earlier today, 44 assists. She was named the team's DDC Plainsman of the contest. She whips one deep, an overpass to Taylin Eppel, who rips it down to the floor. So Taylin Eppel picks up the first point of the match for the Plainsmen on an overpass. 1-0 lead in set 1. Carrere whips it deep. Hard receive again for Ayala to the far pin. Big swing off the block, down the line, and Milken comes down with the kill. Tessa Watson, the freshman from Utah, handed the serve for the Nimi Broncos. 1-1. Watson down the near side, fielded by Outre. Set for Eppel. She mishits it. Played it on the setter to the far pin. Roll shot run over by Milken. Near pin, Loe Outre fires it deep. Chased up high by Sato. Block back at the net by Eppel and Loe Outre. Plainsmen getting their blocking game going for the first time in this tournament in the first set. Both last night against Casper and earlier today against Iowa Western. It was the second set before they found their first block. 2-1 NJC. Sophie Wood, our player of the game from earlier today, fires a serve far side on Ayala. Far pin, Sato bump free over, controlled up high by Wood. Carrere backs at far side, Mosley howitzer to the floor. Samantha Mosley picks up the first in-system kill and a 3-1 early edge for NJC. Carrere, beautiful set that time. Wood hit the line judge on the fly on her serve. And Michelle Milken will take the serve, the sophomore from Japan. 3-2 Plainsmen. Milken's serve, fielded back row by Wood. Carrere near pin. Barnes with the cross, diving up back row by Sato. Far pin roll shot over. Gavette gets there, but Gavette right into the legs of Carrere, and Wood couldn't get across to cover. So that will be a kill for the Nimi Broncos. And hand the serve to Milken again. Serve powered down the middle. Gavette pops it up. Wood near pin. Barnes with the cross. Saito runs it up. Back set to the near pin, off the block, and down for the kill goes Lustig, the freshman from New Mexico. Third different player with a kill. Each team has been able to spread things out in the early stages of this one. 4-3 Nimi. Milken. Serve far side, fielded back row by Sophie Wood. Set it up for Taylin Eppel, whips it down the line. Sliding dig up by Milken to the far pin. Roll shot into the block of Mosley from Ayala. Kept up for the Broncos to the right side. Tip over, pancake up by a diving Gavette, and Eppel swatted over. Dump set over the net. Gavette keeps it up again, and somehow Mosley gets an arm on it and gets it over. Back to the near side. Lustig off the block and gets the kill. You can only scramble so many times before you're so far out of position you can't put it back in. Milken with the serve. 5-3 Nimme, set one. Serve fielded by Wood, not cleanly. Michelle Milken with the ace, the first ace of the match. And the Plainswomen have been aced a lot this weekend. They were aced earlier today by Iowa Western 6 times. They were aced by Casper last night 7 times. Serve fielded by Gavette, back row, 10-foot line, Kader, back throw for Mosley, cross through the block. Milken runs it up to the far pin, diving up on the Ayala swing by Gavette. Wood to the near pin, roll shot over the top from Barnes, controlled up high, back row, set back, Wood sliding dig, Kader running toward the bench, gets to it, and a free ball run over by Wood. Quick control up. Quick set down the middle. They ran the wrap from the right to the middle and the middle to the out, so the dual wrap that killed a Lustig, and a timeout for NJC. Timeout made possible by Bank of Colorado. Apply for the loan you need for your dream home fully online. Visit bankofcolorado.com for all the information or stop by one of the many locations. Bank of Colorado, member FDIC. One of the many fine supporters of Northeastern Junior College athletics, and we love being able to provide you a lot of coverage this year of NJC action. Of course, they go on the road next week. I won't be going to North Platte and Southeast. I have dad and husband duties in the volleyball world next week. We'll be staying around town, but we will go on the road Tuesday the 23rd to Scotts Bluff, and then the homestand for NJC when they work themselves into the heart of regional play, the 25th and 27th. If you're a local business interested in growing your audience, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Ben at 945theranch.com, or any one of our other many radio stations. 7-3 Nimme, set one. Plainswomen out of their first time out. Be facing Milken on the serve again. Milken has an ace, and the Broncos on a 4-0 run. Popped far side on Sophie Wood. Kader with the bump set, keeps it in system, and Barnes howitzer down the line. It hits the rafters and runs back over the head of Milken, who was chasing it down. Barnes with the kill, and that's exactly what I talked about in the pregame show. You can stay in system even with a one receive. Kader with a nice set to keep that block honest. Serve from Gavette to the far line. Back set to the near pin off the block. Mosley covering up the swing of Lustig. Near side Barnes into the block. Barnes with the chicken wing, and it goes free and over and down. That one was dripping with sauce. Gets NJC back within 2. Gavette. Cross far side, 2-1 and out. She was playing that short, aggressive 4 on the serve, but making a decision and got a little too sharp on the shot. 8-5 Nimme. Broncos hand the serve to Seto there, libero. Fielded back row by Barnes. Backs at Mosley, hammering the block at the net. Watson will run it up high. Back to the near pin. Block back. Natalie Moore with one. Caitlin Barnes there as well. So Moore moves herself within 2 of top 10 all time. 236 career blocks. Number 10 is 238. Maddie Shumway on to serve. She punches it far line on Ayala. Slide to the near pin off the block of Moore. Goes the attack from Konwerska. Back to Barnes, too sharp on her shot, and it bangs into the net and onto the Plainswomen's side. First hitting error of the night for NJC. 6-2 substitution as the Broncos will hand the serve to Eduarda Bikailo. And Jamara Kobian, the Argentinian freshman, will be the second right side. 9-6 Nimme. Bakailo. Harpan up by Shumway. Slide to Natalie Moore. Did you get through to the block? It did get through to the block. I think either coach is going to challenge this one. Natalie Moore gets the kill. And Caitlin Barnes has the serve as Loe Utre comes in. Barnes hard serve to the back corner. Roll shot deep. Run up high by Shumway. Set for more. Swipe to the near line on the setter Bakilo. Chased down on a free ball. Be run over by Ayala. Diving up by Gavette on a nice sharp free. Loe Utre with the cross to Saito in the far pin. Back cross comes from the Broncos. Dump set. Kader into the block at the net. Ayala turned it back. Telegraphed that a little bit. She dropped that front shoulder to kind of get that swing, and it allowed the block to time the jump with her instead of getting an unfettered tip typically. Ayala takes a serve. Down the near side, Gavette runs it up. Kader to Otre, off the block and the kill again. Having to run bump set there was Kader. And the Northeastern Plainswomen were able to still with that double kind of keep the block honest with that middle just kind of baiting a little bit. When you have a balanced offense, you can do that. 10-8 NJC trails. Kennedy Kerr on to serve. She hammers it near side, and the free ball won't get over and into the net on the attack with Kobian. So the Plainswomen back within one. 10-9 in set one. Kennedy Kerr. She wings it to the near side. Mishandled for an ace. Kennedy Kerr gives herself a point that she's earned there and squares this at 10. 2 in a row on the line. Kerr looking for 3. Shot set to the far pin, tipped down the line, 2 wide and out for Milken. And NJC on a 4-0 run. Now leads 11-10 in set number 1. Kerr clipping the net cord. Saito with the receive. Setter goes under the net and near a Northeastern Plainswoman player. So that will be a under the net violation. 12-10, 5-0 run for the Plainswomen. Kerr slaps it near side, slide to the pin, big cross from Cora. Back up dig, and Barnes will run it over, forced it on the setter. Far pin swing, touch. No touch. Milken too big and out. A 6-0 NJC run, and the Nimi coach is not happy. Serve for Kerr, powered near side. Set to the far pin, Milken swing, dug up by Barnes, back row, Kader to the near pin for Utre, down the line, she'd gone cross. And Loe Utre with her second kill. NJC now on a 7-0 run, and Nimi will use a timeout. Agricultural Accounting knows you're a producer, not an accountant, so why should you be doing your paperwork when they can? Let them plow through it for you. Agman.co, set up your consultation today. There are new sponsor this year of the Bleckatology podcast on the Eastern Plains Sports Network, where I crunch all the high school numbers, and we even do some college work as well with the new Bleckatology grading system that we created this summer. I did not name Bleckatology after myself. That goes to my mentor, John Beltran, who brought that up back in 2017. I'm not vain enough to name something after myself, but John, he had no shame about that. So the Bleckatology, like bracketology with the major 4-letter network, helps us break down all the numbers, especially as confusing as it all is with RPI and max preps ratings and seating and selection indexes. 14-10 Plainswomen up on Nimi in set 1. Kennedy Kerr on a 6-0 run on her service. Fires one near side, kept in play, and from behind the back line it's over. Otre pops it up down the middle. Eppel rips it in. A foot keeps it up, and then the third free over for Bikailo. 8-0 run, 7 of it on the service of Kennedy Kerr. 15-10. Kerr hammers one near side. Bikailo sets to the far pin. Big block back. Taylon Eppel and Stella Carrer denying Milken. third block of this first set for NJC. 16-10 on a 9-0 run. Kerr, who wears number 9, whips it deep, back set to the near pin. Milken, too big, touch, no touch, 10-0 run. And out of timeouts are the Broncos. No, they do have one left. Kerr finally lines it into the net, ending the 10-0 run, 9 of it on her serve. Evie Gavette comes back in, and Drenelis Ramos-Cora, Puerto Rican sophomore, with the serve, flops it near side on Shumway to Eppel, who tips it short. It's mishandled and finds the floor for the kill. Carrere will take the serve for NJC, as out of the match comes Milken. Into the match comes Carola Schnidrig, the Argentinian sophomore. And Carrere will go right at her. Back set, near side, wiped over and down. Colbion with the kill. 6-2 substitution back to the starting tandem of Lustig and Watson. And NJC has an 18-12 lead in set 1. Tessa Watson to serve. Watson swings in near side. Quick set far side. Big rip for Samantha Mosley. And Mosley with her second kill. 4 players with 2 kills. And Sophie Wood to take the service in Kira Loiutre's spot. Serve will be fired far side, run up high, back row, far pin swing, shoulder up by Wood, but can't control it as Lustig gets her 4th kill. The right side hitters have 5 of Nimi's 7 kills, which is another thing that NJC hadn't seen much of this year, with not only 1 but 2 strong opposites. 19-13. Short serve, controlled up by Gavette. Set to the near pin. Barnes through the double and down to the floor. 3rd kill of the first set for her. Plainswoman and the serve to Evie Gavette. 5 away from winning set number 1. Serve will be lined down the middle, controlled up for Nimi. Far side, push over the top of the block by Ayala. Free ball, second touch over. Forces a scramble. Ayala into the block. Carrere will run it up again. Gavette to the near pin. Barnes. I don't think Caitlin Barnes touched that. Maybe she did. Trying to get it over. It trotted off the net cord and will give her a 4th kill. First out of system for the Plainswomen since the very first point of the match. 21-13, Gavette angles the serve far side, big up back row, slide, big block back. Natalie Moore comes in with it.
Next one.
Moore, 2 blocks. Gavette hammers a serve just beyond the back line. 4th service error of the first set for the Plainswomen. They lead 22-14. Sido's serve fielded by Barnes to Mosley, who whips it to the floor. Samantha Mosley, she now has 35 kills on the weekend, 3 hitting errors. She had 17 and 2 hitting errors earlier today. Serve will be punched down the middle by Shumway in Mosley's spot. Far side roll played on Shumway. Slide to the pin. Big hammer, Natalie Moore. 5th player with 2 kills in the first set for the Plainswomen. 24-14. NJC with 10 set points to dominate the first set. Shumway crawls the net court over and down, and Ace finishes set one 25-14. Plainswomen getting hot against Nimmy. This is the 41st annual Sheila Worley Tournament presented by the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Huge first set for the Northeastern Plainswomen as they take set number one against the Nimmy Broncos 25-14. Back for set number two at the Bank of Colorado Event Center. I'm Ben Blecka. Glad you have joined us on this one tonight. The Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen hit 393 in set number one. They had two hitting errors in the first set on 28 swings and produced 13 kills. That is the fourth set on this Friday that NJC has put together at least 13 kills in a set. They had that massive 17 kill set earlier today against the Iowa Western Reavers. Teams switch sides as we head to set number two. Plainswomen will be on receive. Natalie Moore with 2 blocks is one shy of 10th place on the all-time blocking list here at NJC. 237 blocks for her. With a solo block and a block assist, NJC 4 blocks in that first set, which isn't even their biggest blocking set today. They had that a massive 7 blocks in the third set against Iowa Western. Broncos, they go back to Milken to start this second set after she was replaced late in the first. Serve far side, fielded by Loie Outre to Taylin Epple. She's blocked back. Touch over by Loie Outre. To the far pin, Milken blocked back by Loie Outre, and Epple back to the near pin comes the swing. Block didn't close. Lustig down for her 5th kill of this match. One swing into set number 2. That's a right side hitter that has probably seen the most sets of anybody, and it's not even close in this match. Serve deep, popped up high, back row by Barnes to Mosley. Roll shot looking for a campfire. Milken runs it up high, back to Lustig. It was off the block. So 2 kills in 2 points from Aniston Lustig, the 6-foot freshman from New Mexico. 2-0. Watson's serve controlled by Barnes. Back set to Mosley. She tangles with Lustig, and 6-6 wins with her 4th kill of the match. And back to serve goes Sophie Wood for the Plainswomen. Wood. Knuckler down the middle. Saito trouble fielding it. Ends up with a free ball over. Quick control up. Far pin set. Barnes off the block. Controlled on the ground and swiped over the net. Plainswomen got a little foot slow, and Lustig took advantage of it. Her 3rd kill already in this 2nd set. Niemi with a 3-1 advantage. Milken had that nice run on service early in set 1. Serve fielded by Gavette. Off the block of the net goes Mosley. To the near pin, into the block at the net. Eppel and Mosley denying Ayala. Talon Eppel's 3rd block, Mosley's 1st. And Evie Gavette will serve. It's 5 blocking points in the match now for the Plainswomen. Serve flop near side. Saito pops it up. Back set, far pin. Hopping head at the net is Lustig. Handed up down the middle. Natalie Moore pings it to the back corner. Run down and a bump free. Played over in short. Nice read and control up by Wood. DeMoore again through the block. Saito copies it up to the far pin. Off the block at the net. Ball kept in play out of the net. And Barnes with the bump free over. Controlled up by the Broncos. Set for a backside run up. The block deked, and Lustig whistled it big and out. First unforced hitting error for her. She had 2 hitting errors caused by the block, but her first unforced of the night. 3-all. Serve whipped down the near side, popped up by Ayala, down the middle and a tip short. Kader will have to run it up. Gavette to the near pin. Mosley run up, run down, and in. 5 kills in the match for Samantha Mosley. 3rd point out of system this evening for the Northeastern Plainswomen. 4-3. Gavette wipes in near side on Ayala. Set to the far pin, tip over Natalie Moore on the block. Diving up by Gavette. Mosley with the cross. Played it on setter Tessa Watson. Out of system to the far pin. Natalie Moore turns it back. That is number 10 on the all-time list. Moore and Barnes team up, and NJC leads 5-3. Natalie Moore equaling Zoe T with 238 career blocks, 10th all-time. 5-3. Serve will be lined down the middle, popped up back row. Quick roll back off the block at the net. Set to the far pin. Barnes with the big cross. Ball be run down on the far side. Pinged back over off the block at the net. Back to Mosley. Mosley with the swing. Through and down. Mosley comes up with the kill. Mosley with 3 kills already in this 2nd set. Serve will be lined down the middle, popped up back row, set for a 10-foot line swing from Niemi and Milken. Back to Mosley. Mosley again mishanded. How about 4 kills in the first 10 points of this 2nd set for Samantha Mosley. 7-3. Evie Gavette will take the serve. Gavette fielded back row by Saito to the near pin. Through the block goes Ayala, and Ayala will pick up her first kill since early in set number 1. Plainswomen lead 7-4. Serve whipped far side. Quick set down the middle. Natalie Moore rips it into the block, and it turns back onto the Plainswomen side. So she was denied by the tandem of Cora and Lustig. That's the second Niemi block of the match. Serve popped up back row, down the middle more, not to be denied this time. Dig free back over, run down by Wood, back for Mosley. Missed the back line. Her first hitting error of the match, just her fourth of the weekend. Having produced 39 kills on about 60 swings. She's hitting better than 500 on the weekend. Serve popped up back row by Barnes. Back up for Mosley, who chips it short. Set to the near side. Blocked in close, and down goes Ayala for her third kill, second of this second set. We're square at 7. The Northeastern Plainsmen lead the Nimi Broncos 1-0. Saito flops it down the middle on Wood. Far pin, Barnes, line, kill. Caitlin Barnes with 5 in the match. And Maddie Shumway will come on to serve for the Plainsmen. Shumway punches in near side, popped up back row, one-handed set goes awry, free ball over, run down by Wood. Kader back sets, she didn't have a right because Shumway is in for Mosley, so the ball falls harmlessly to the floor. 6-2 substitution, gets Bakilo and Kobian on. The Brazilian only had 1 assist in set 1. She got stuck on that back line, and the Plainsmen picked on her as a part of that 10-0 run. So popped up back row by Wood. Far pin, Barnes hammered deep, dug up nicely, back pin, block, can't turn back, tool kill Kobian. Both kills for Kobian and Bakilo, or Kobian both kills on Bakilo sets. 9-8 Nimi. Punch down the middle, popped up by Wood, back row, back set, tip, Moore looking for a campfire, controlled up by Saito. Far side, blocked back by Moore and Barnes, back to the near side. Kader hung out to dry, and Ayala used the solo for her 4th kill of the match. And it's marked. It's marked here. 10-8. Plainswomen trail Nimi. Receive, far side from Wood. At the net, the overpass easily pushed down by Cora. Timeout by the Northeastern Plainswomen. It's NJC struggling to kind of get their footing underneath them. Sydney Regional Medical Center doesn't want you to let that injury keep you out of the game. Learn more at sydneyrmc.com. Plainswomen, I really can't pinpoint one exact spot where they're playing worse in this set. The receive really isn't even all that bad. It's just that Nimi is eliminating their errors. And that's been the history between these two, and why every match I've done between these two, and I believe that NJC and Nimi have ever played, has gone at least 4, because Nimi is just, as you would expect from Military Institute, disciplined. They're going to be in the right spot. They're going to do the right thing. They're going to make sure that they know what Plan B, Plan C, and Plan D are. And it's hard to beat that. The 11-8 out of the timeout. Nimi continues with the serve in the hands of Bakilo. Bakilo. Punches it, and a rotation violation for NJC as Caitlin Barnes was outside the white line. Make it 11-8. 12-8, pardon me. It was 11-8. Serve whip down the far side, popped up by Wood to Barnes, turned back, covered by Wood. Gavette, and then Barnes whips it line. Jumped up by Bakilo, near pin, off hands at the net, goes Ayala. Running back free, over for Barnes, and it somehow went down. Caitlin Barnes with her 6th kill of the match. She was just trying to keep the rally going, but played a pretty aggressive drop. Just behind spot 3. Barnes with the serve, down 12-9. Back row quick, set to the near pin, into the block of Kader at the net goes Cobian. Back to Cobian, over the block of Natalie Moore, too big and out. Can you get runs of service? That's what NJC got. Barnes a 3-0, and then the 10-0 with Kennedy Kerr, who's on deck to serve next. Near side short shot. Shumway pops it up. Kader bumps that. O'Trey with the big hammer. Diving up by Bakilo. Back row and a free ball over. Gavette chases it up. How about another swing for O'Trey? Back row control. Near side off the block at the net goes Cobian. Bumps that more to O'Trey into the block. And kept high. Gavette and then O'Trey with the left punches it over. Somehow this rally's still going off the block, diving up by Barnes back row to the far pin. O'Trey turned back by the block. Cora and Ayala teaming up there. There were about 3 opportunities in that rally that I thought it was done on each side of the net. Nimi gets the block for the win, 13-10. Short serve, near side, fielded by Barnes. Slide on the run up for Moore. Punch through. Chase down. Back row swing deep from Ayala. Missed dig by Gavette and a free ball back for the Plainsmen. Play back right. Set to the near side and a bump free on the mistimed approach. Quick hand up by Moore. Cut air. O'Trey. Yes, sir. Kira with her 3rd kill of the match. Good quick hand up by Natalie Moore on that free ball over to really speed that tempo up. Kennedy Kerr, who was the hero in set number 1. With that long service run now to serve. She gets a knuckler far side. Cross controlled up by Shumway on the Milken swing. Dump over for Carrere, handed up by Eppel. Far pin, O'Trey. Oh yeah! O'Trey with her 4th kill, 2nd of this set. And again, quick hand up by a middle, just cranking that tempo. Shifting gears going into a corner at Bristol Motor Speedway as opposed to putting the brakes on. No brakes, all gas for Kennedy Kerr, who drops an ace on the back line for Nimi. Maybe not putting it into the gas at Bristol. That's a pretty sharp turn. How about Atlanta Motor Speedway? I'll take that one. 13-all. Serve wound deep, popped up back row, slide to the pin, block at the net. O'Trey turned it down. O'Trey with her 2nd block. Now, I believe there is a hair tie on the wrist of Bakilo. She takes it off her wrist and puts it on her bun, and Cora has the same situation. (14-13) NJC. Kerr pings it deep. Up off Ayala. Big swing. Dig by Kerr. Set far pin. O'Trey pinged the pin. Trying to go line. Her first unforced hitting error of the night. Plainsmen get a run back, though, on the service of Kennedy Kerr. They're back even at 14 in set 2. Cora to serve for the Nemi Broncos. Cora flops it far side on Shumway. Backslide, Eppel. Power tip off the block. Far pin swing, going line. Well, you thought she was going line. Cobian goes cross and finds the floor for her 3rd kill of the match. Puts Nemi back in front. 15-14. Serve punch far side up by Shumway back row. Slide. Eppel. The set was way too hot for her to be able to chase down. (16-14) Nimi. Ramos Cora with the serve. Fires it far side. Dug up back row swing for Barnes. Tickled the far line. Caitlin Barnes able to find the floor for her 7th kill of the match. Stella Kader will take the serve for the Northeastern Plainswomen. Kader. Hammers it dead center. Quick back set far side. Cross. Yep, caught the line. Block was in the net. I'm not robbing Cobian of her 3rd kill of the set, though. Ball was in as well. 17-15 Nimi looking to even it a set apiece. Setter 1, right side 1. Watson and Lustig come in. Lustig 7 kills to lead the Broncos tonight. Short serve popped up by Barnes. Outre runs it back near side, and Mosley punches it over. Saito up to the near pin, off hands at the net. Barnes controls it. Back step Mosley, big cross, far side, played it on the setter to force out of system. Bump free back over and short, handed up by Kader, so the Plainsmen out of system. Far pin, Outre rips the block and gets the kill. That's 5 kills in the contest for her, and 5 points out of system for NJC. Doing a good job of having a secondary offense in place for when, not if, the ball is played on the setter. Sophie Wood with the serve. Knuckler near side, handled by Ayala. Big hammer run up down the middle for Milken, who's an outside. She hadn't had a kill since early in set number 1, and she's able to rip it to the ground to hand herself the serve. Ball line down the middle, popped up for the Plainswomen. Bumps at Eppel. Barnes with a crossover. Control high near side. Wipe down the line for Ayala. Up by Wood. Back to Mosley. Off block. Jump dig. Not successful. Kill. Mosley with her 8th. Tied for the team and match high. Evie Gavette to serve, down 18-17 in the second set. Gavette punches it deep on Saito. Near side roll shot. Wood thought Gavette had it. Gavette thought Wood had it. Ayala gets her 5th kill. It's the first out of system point tonight for Nimi. 19-17. Their lead back up to 2 as Saito will have the serve. Wood, nice control up. Back step Mosley. Big rip dig onto the Plainswomen side. Natalie Moore hammers down the loose floorboard at the 10-foot line. Overpass for her 3rd kill of the match. Plainswomen have to make sure they're in the right rotation, and it is Maddie Shumway that will come in to serve in Samantha Mosley's spot. Shumway whips it down the middle, set into the block at the net. Who else but Natalie Moore, now sole possession of 10th on the all-time NJC blocking list. 239 career blocks. Timeout by Nemi. Equitable Savings and Loan wants you to borrow your money and do your banking with people you know and people who know you. Stop by one of 10 locations across the plains or visit equitable-savings.com. The craziest part about Natalie Moore, when you look at all of the great names on the top 10 NJC blocking list, they were all tall. Like Zoe T, the player she just passed, was 6'3". Ashley Murphy was tall. Who else is on this top 10 list for NJC? But they were all big 6 foot or better players. Natalie Moore is listed at 6 foot. If she's 6 foot, I'm 5'11". I'm not 5'11". But what she lacks in physical height, she makes up for in vert. Her vert is easily 5 times what my vert is. Potentially 6 or 7. I don't have much of a vert, to be perfectly honest. I used to when I wasn't in my mid-40s. 19 all out of Nimmi's timeout, set 2. Madeline Shumway continues with the serve. Maddie down the near side. Back set, far pin, blocked back by Moran Barnes. Second push over by Lustig. Set to Barnes, far pin, through the double. She finds the floor. 8 kills for Barnes. And NJC has a 20-19 lead. Serve, whipped down the middle, popped up, back row, near pin swing, Moran Kader, denied again. Lauded Natalie Moore, but how about Stella Kader? 3 blocks for her, 21-19, Plainsman. Run up down the middle, 1-on-1. Natalie Moore got a touch. Then Barnes, Kader, and Gavette combined to free it over. Crossover on the ball from Cora. Dug up by Shumway. Barnes tips line. Out of system scramble. Near side swing. Rocketed way too wide and out for Ayala. Caitlin Barnes, who was a part of that big scramble for the ball. Deep breath. Let's calm down, and they'll have 75 seconds to calm down as Nimmi takes another timeout. NJC's on a 5-0 run, 4 of it on the serve of Shumway. The Northeastern Plainswomen will play tomorrow night at 7:30, but the soccer teams will play tomorrow at 1 and 3 right here on 94.5 The Ranch. They welcome in WNCC. After losing to L Trip today, the men 2-1, the women 4-0. The women trying to get back on the front side and get 9 points at home. The men still in search of their first win in conference play. Next benchmark for Natalie Moore is Jamelia McNeil, who played here at NJC in 2005-2006. She's 6 blocks shy of that. I don't think she'll get that in this match. But I'm pretty sure 11 blocks in a match would be a match record. I don't know that I've ever seen double digits, and I've been here 17 years. Far side push over for Nimmi out of the timeout. Far pin Barnes off the block of the net. Controlled up back row for Milken. Roll shot far side. Gavette couldn't touch it. And Lustig will pick up her 8th kill. Just got the update from the Ox Gym. WNCC and Odessa playing. Cougars are 4 points away from a 2-0 lead. WNCC has had a rugged schedule this year. 22-20 NJC. They're 3 away from a 2-0 lead on Nimmi. Serve fielded back row. Kader trying to pop it over. Turned off the block. Moore scrambles and keeps it in play. Barnes tries to touch a tip. Freed back over by the Broncos. Quick wrap to Moore near side. Dig over press row. Natalie Moore with kill 4. 23-20. Caitlin Barnes takes the serve. Barnes powers it far side, popped up to the near pin, big roll shot, blocked, deked, too long and out goes Kobe, and 4 set points for NJC at 24-20, and Nimmi is out of timeouts. Barnes clipping tape on her serve, set for a back flat free from Cora. Bumps that far pin, Chloe Outre touches it short. Slide to the far pin, big cross, dug up by Barnes back row. Back row swing for Barnes, block back, covers her own swing up. Outre back far side, she's covered up by Gavette. Outre a third swing, cross near side, diving up by Saito. Back row swing, powered deep from Milken, up by Shumway, slide to Moore, tips it into the net. Just the 5th hitting error of the night for NJC. Still set point at 24-21. Serve punch down the middle, handed up by Shumway. Moore hitting right, big hammer. Gets the kill, 25-21. NJC is up on Nimmy, 2-0. Third set next. This is the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back inside the Bank of Colorado Events Center, the Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen a 2-0 lead on the Nimmy Broncos as we head to set number 3. 25-21 was set 2. Plainswomen didn't hit that 393 they hit in the first set, only hit 190 in the second set. But NJC with 8 hitting errors tonight on 81 swings. They're getting 90% of their balls over and in to be able to really work on the offense. That's why they have 28 kills. But it's the blocking game that has been making hay. 8 blocks tonight, including 5 from Natalie Moore, who has moved into 10th place on the all-time NJC blocking list. As we head to set number 3, the Plainswomen will be going from our right to our left once again, as they were in set number 1. Plainswomen have not made any changes to their lineup. They started earlier today with Lisi Pahulu as their setter and changed off of her in set 1 when the back line was struggling to get her settable balls. And since then, it's been back to Stella Kader, and the Northeastern Plainswomen are feeling where they are right now. Plainswomen will have Stella Kader with the serve as we begin the third set. Kader hammers it down the far side, controlled up by Ayala to the far pin, roll shot over, diving up by Gavette. 10-foot line swing near side from Loie Outre. Back row swing, hammered deep by Ayala, handed up by Kader to Mosley, roll shot, too big and out. Samantha Mosley, that's just her second hitting error this match, 5th of the weekend. She'd taken 31 swings in this match, took 28 today and 29 last night. Serve fielded back row, quick set, Eppel off hands at the net, diving up by Watson and a bump free over by Saito. Back far side, Mosley punches it short. Milken up, far pin swing. Eppel and Mosley turning it back. 4th block of the match for Taylon Eppel. Square at 1 in the 3rd set. Sophie Wood on to serve for NJC. Wood whips it far side on Ayala. Off the block at the net goes Milken, and it finds the floor for the kill. Milken with her 3rd kill of the match. Milken up 2-1 with the serve. Down the middle, controlled up by Gavette, set for Eppel, who hangs and pops and drops. Taylon's first kill since the first set, her 3rd of the match. But the balance incredible once again from Stella Kader. Middles are getting about 30% of the swings. Serve angled far side by Evie Gavette, controlled up high and a tip short. Gavette trying to get the dive, can't control it. And Marata Konwerska with her first kill of the night. Konwerska has only had about 5 or 6 total swings. Saito serves in Konwerska's spot. Up by Barnes. Barnes with a run up, Barnes with the run down. WNCC had an opportunity to take a 2-0 lead on Odessa in the Ox Gym. Odessa came back and they won the 2nd set. So a thriller going on over there. Shumway to serve at 3-all in the 3rd. She fires it far side. Ayala pops it up. Back to Ayala off the block at the net. And the kill. Ayala with 6 in the match for the Nimi Broncos. And back to serve goes the 2nd setter, Eduarda Bacayo. Bacayo. Far side, Shumway missed it. Good recovery by Barnes, and Gavette thought she was taking it. Wood thought she was taking it, and this is the one rotation where the 3 liberos are out there, only one actually wearing the Liv jersey. All used to commanding the back line, and the Plainsmen struggled last night with Casper with these 3 out, and earlier today against Iowa Western. Bad receive, Shumway far side. Wood chases it down. Kader will free it over. Slide to the near pin, solo block because of the scramble, and Cora gets the kill. Cora, her 2nd of the match. Nimi with a 5-3 lead. Bacallo. Popped up, back row by Gavette. Kader will run it down, and Barnes will spin it over. Nice chase down by Saito. Far pin swing, Ayala. 2 big and out. Got to use the unforced errors if you're NJC. Caitlin Barnes at the line. Waiting on R2 to approve the substitution, as I believe NJC brought to the line Loiu Trey. But then Coach Nelson came out and said, wait, and the scoreboard was wrong. That was the delay, actually. 6-4, Nimi. A point hadn't gone up. The internet's done its thing here on campus today. The scoreboard has definitely been a little delayed. That was a lot delayed. Serve for Barnes down the near side. Scramble and a bump free over by the Broncos. Moore on the slide to the far pin. Finds the floor. That's 6 kills in the match for Natalie Moore. Caitlin Barnes continues with the serve. Plains have been looking for the tie in the third, up 2-0. Barnes pops it short. Controlled back row. Saito. Far pin swing from the Argentinian Schnidrig, who gets the start in this third set, and a roll shot played short from Barnes. Far side Schnidrig played on Shumway to the near pin. Outre down the line and in for the kill. Kiera, her 6th of the match, by far the reigning NJCAA National Player of the Week's weakest set and match of the weekend. But she's still making the most of the chances she's getting. Serve hammer down the near side from Barnes to the far pin. Block up too quick, and then on the downfall, Stella Kader got into the net. First blocking error of the match. Nimi has a 7-6 lead on that blocking error. And the serve goes to Layla Leala. Hammers it far side. Barnes pops it up. Sets near side. Loie Outre into the block. Couldn't find it. Popped off the top of her head and fell to the floor. Give the turn back to Ramos Cora. And Schnidrig. Third for Ramos Cora. First for Schnidrig. 8-6 Nimi. Clips tape. Nice recovery by Gabet. Slide to the far pin. Moore too big and out. The back line has played that a lot tonight. Natalie Moore didn't get the touch there. Coach Nelson over to the table. I don't know if she's going to employ, and she is. There's the green card. Our first challenge of the match. They're going to check. I believe 3 is in the net, is I believe the signal for what he is looking at. On that Moore swing, NJC thought that the Bronco player was in the net. He's been pretty quick, the down official, when reviews this weekend. This one is not the same as some of the ones we saw earlier today or even last night in the Casper match for NJC. We had that one review that took like 5 minutes because it was a touch at the net, so there was a lot to look at on that piece there. Ended up getting the overturn. First National Bank in Fleming doesn't want you to be worried about your financial institution. They're the ones that will manage your finances. First National Bank in Fleming, member FDIC. Plains have been ranked 5th in the nation. Review is done. Either a hitting error and 9-6 Nimi or a in the net violation on Nimi, and 8-7 no in the net. So that is the hitting error. 9-6 New Mexico Military. Nelson has lost one of her 2 challenges. Ayala flings the serve far side on Barnes. Near side, Loie Outre hammers the block and it finds the floor. Kiera with her 7th of the match. Natalie Moore takes a seat to serve Kennedy Kerr. 2 aces in this one, 3 aces for the Plainswomen as a team. Down 9-7 in the third. Kerr knuckles it near side. Back set into the block at the net. Rianielis Ramos Cora with her 3rd kill of the match. And she'll give herself the serve. Serve near side, mishandled by Shumway. Bumps that up and over the top of the block at the net. Goes Loiu Trey. Quick return back to the far corner. Milken, and Milken with her 4th kill of the match. 2nd of the set. Timeout by NJC. Down 11-7. Gordon Insurance wants you to be prepared for everything life throws at you. Car insurance, farm insurance, crop insurance, life insurance. Gordon Insurance, 970-522-6139. The Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen trying to put themselves back into control of this match. But, and again, like I talked about in the second set, it's not something for the Northeastern Plainswomen where they're doing anything all that bad. It's just that New Mexico Military isn't making any mistakes. And Nemi will have the serve out of the timeout. Deep, mishandled back row, chased down, can't come up with it, and it will be an ace for the Nemi Broncos. 12-7 is their lead, trying to force us to a 4th set. Ramos Cora. Fielded cleanly by Barnes this time. Kader near pin. Loiu Trey off the block, and then it touched the back line. So 3rd kill of the set for the French freshman. And Samantha Mosley will come back in on the front row as Stella Kader takes the serve. Down 12-8, Kader. Popped up high back row. Misplayed set. Plainswomen were blocking Konwerska. And Milken recognized that the set was coming up short. It may very well be a designed set from Bikailo there. But it came up short of the target and worked to a kill. Setter one back on in Watson. Up by Gavette, and a tip short for the Plainswomen. Big hammer out of the back row, up by Kader. Over the head of Eppel, way short of Loiu Trey, goes the second touch from Gavette. 14-8. We might have to get rid of this green pen. NJC has lost every set this year that I've used green pen to stat. Serve near side, quick set, and Eppel tips it into the block at the net. No, didn't get through. That was into the net. 4-hit violation. 15-8 New Mexico Military. Watson serve, controlled up back row, Trey. Quick set to the far pin for Mosley. 9 kills in the match for Mosley. Sophie Wood on to serve. Wood. Spins it far side, popped up back row. Quick run up down the middle. And down and in goes Milken for the kill. 4th kill of the set. She had 2 kills through the first 2. Gives herself the serve. Flop near side on Barnes. Backs at Mosley. Hops hands. Finds the kill. That's 10 in the match for her. 3rd straight match, at least. I didn't look back at last weekend, but this weekend, she's to double digits in 3 straight. Short serve, handled up by Saito. Back set, off block at the net, goes Lustig. Back to Mosley. Mosley howitzer missed the back line. 17-10. Sato will serve. Japanese libero for the Broncos. And Coach Nelson is taking a timeout. She thought she'd been awarded the timeout, but the official didn't actually blow the whistle, so she'll use her second. Remember, the Cajun Boil, the 19th annual event, is coming on up on October 11th here at NJC. 5:30 doors open, meals served at 7. Get your individual tickets or your table of 8 by contacting the Northeastern Athletics Department or go to the GoNJC.com ticketing site, and you can purchase your ticket there. It's always a great event, and we'll have a busy weekend because volleyball is home that weekend. Friday night against Southeast, Saturday afternoon against North Platte. So we'll pretty much finish the game in here, wrap everything up, and then move into the Ox Gym and let's eat. That's a pretty good Saturday. There's a lot of great things going on here on the campus of NJC this year. Really loving everything that we have going in this fall 2025, both in the athletic department and across the campus. Shout out to the faculty, staff, and even the students for making it all happen. My student intern / daughter, freshman up here and enjoying this fall. Serve down the middle, fielded by Sophie Wood out of the timeout. Mistimed approach. Barnes gets it over. Back on the handover come the Broncos and Cora. Near side, Barnes blocked back. Dig up, turned down. Loose dig with the solo. 18-10 New Mexico Military. And JC devoid of timeouts in this third set. 19-10. An ace for Sato. Second ace of the set. Third of the match for the Broncos, who have not missed a serve. Every serve has gone in. 19-10. Sato flops it short, up by Barnes. Back to Mosley into the block. Tool kill, number 11 in the match for Samantha. Her spot served for by Maddie Shumway. Shumway needing a big run of serve right now. She fires it down the far side. One-handed set, and under the net on the set went Tessa Watson. Right near the NJC block, so that'll give a point to the Plainswomen, 19-12. Serve, tumbled far side, better receive this time. Far pin swing, arc deep, too deep and out for Ayala. Broncos lead cut to 6. Shumway continues with the serve. Short, mishandled back row, scramble up high, and a roll shot down the line from Lustig. Slide to the far pin. Moore somehow gets there and pushes it over. Run back over, dig for Gavette over onto the Broncos side, mishandled, and then a dump deep from Cora. Near pin, Barnes over the top of the block at the net. The griddle gets too hot, and she finds kill 10 of the night. The second player to double digits in kills is Caitlin Barnes. (19-14). Serve fired far side on Ayala. Scramble up and a back row swing over. Diving up by Gavette. Near pin. Barnes, big whistle deep. Dug back to the net. Natalie Moore trying to block it back. Didn't touch it. And the ensuing 2 touches for Nimi didn't get over. Broncos have both timeouts remaining. Their once 9-point lead is now just 4, 19-15. Shumway. Down the middle, popped up back row, set far pin, blocked back at the net by Kader. Slide to the near side, Moore gets over and gets a touch on the swing from Lustig. Bump set to Barnes, tools the block and gets the kill. Caitlin Barnes with the 11. And now New Mexico Military will utilize a timeout as the Plainswomen are on a 6-0 run. And they're within 3. Rudy's Tires has several locations across the area, so there's always one close by, and if you can't get to them, they'll get to you. Rudy'sTires.com for more information. Rudy's Tires brings you Eastern Plains Sports Today, weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1010 KSIR. I love hosting the Daily Show. I love hosting the podcast. I love showcasing all of the facets of sports here across the Eastern Plains of Colorado. I'm a storyteller by nature. In case you haven't learned that from following along with me, whether you just joined us this year here at NJC or you've been a fan for the 22 years I've been out here on the Eastern Plains of Colorado. I love telling stories both in the play-by-play realm and after the fact, and telling all the pieces of all the lives and get to know these players here at NJC. So many of these players I follow on socials after they leave. Absolutely love watching their lives after they're here in Sterling. Shumway out of the timeout with a serve. She'll whip it deep on Milken. Set. Gavette dug up a powerful swing for Ayala, tipped over by Kader. Off the block of Moore at the net goes Ayala. To the near pin, Barnes. She wipes it to the near corner. Up by Milken to the near pin, punch short, wung up on the front row by Moore, and a bump free over by Wood. Played it on setter, so out of system goes Niemi. Far side Ayala off the block, diving up by Evie Gavette, near side Barnes, just too big an out. What a great rally, both sides, several out of system scrambles to keep the ball up, and Niemi got the better of it, 20-16. Schnidrig on. Bacallo also out as well. So the change is Cobian is not on the floor. Getting Schnidrig out there as a right. She'd played some outside. But pins are pins. Diving received by Shumway. Near pin. Barnes down the line. And in for the kill. A dozen for Caitlin Barnes. That now leads the Plainswomen offensively. Hands herself the serve as Loie Utre comes back in on the front row. Big cross far side for the Broncos, and Cora gets her third kill of the set. She had been a non-factor in this match until this third set. 3 of her 4 kills here. Layla Ayala takes the serve. It does put Milken, the best hitter on the season, on the front row. Fielded by Gavette, back row. Slide to Natalie Moore. Moore tried to go cross and banged it into the net. 22-17. Plainswomen can't stop it. Got to do it on the floor. Serve flopped far side. Barnes miss receive, and that will be an ace for Layla Ayala. Third ace of the set for Niemi, 23-17. Serve, run, far side. Ball came rolling onto the floor as the Shaggers were attempting to collect all of them. It hit the edge of the stands and went spinning out, so we replay. Ayala fires it far side. Barnes up, cut air, tip line, finds the kill. Stella's first of the match. Kennedy Kerr on to serve with the Plainswomen down 5, 23-18. Kerr has 2 aces in this match. Earlier today, she came up strong on the line, whips one down the middle, far side swing into the net, a hitting error for Milken. 23-19, we have our first 23-19 of the match. Kerr, knuckler near side, make it 23-20. Kennedy Kerr's third ace of this one. She has 3 of the team's 4. Kerr Powers it down the middle. Saito pops it up. Slide to the pin. Sailed to the corner. And in. Fourth kill of the set. Fifth of the match for Adrian Yelich. Ramos Cora. And 4 set points for the Nimi Broncos. Ramos Cora gives herself the serve. Short serve, mishandled by Barnes. Bumps that up, near side. Too big and out goes Kira Loe-Utre. New Mexico Military takes the fourth 25-20, or takes the third 25-20 to send us to a fourth. That fourth set is next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back inside the Bank of Colorado Event Center, we head to set number 4. The Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen fall to Nimi in the third, 25-20. The New Mexico Military Broncos, good third set, 226 on the hitting, and they served well as well. I think that's something for the Northeastern Plainswomen that Nimi hadn't consistently done. They didn't get errors. They still don't have a service error in the match, does Nimi, but they hadn't been that aggressive. It had just been, let's get the ball in. And in the third set, they started working line a lot more, finding aggressive opportunities, and it got NJC a tick on their heels. But again, I look at NJC, I don't see anything overwhelmingly egregious in the statistical end of things. They only got one block in that set. That was the biggest difference. They've been getting multiple blocks per set. As we head to the fourth, NJC will be on receive in set number 4. Plainswomen got a longer delay here. I don't know if it was a lineup situation or what the case was there, but it took a lot more time to get a set for this fourth set. Broncos will have the serve. Watson with it. Watson fielded back row by Barnes, set to the near pin. Mosley to the floor. Mosley has a dozen kills in the match. I said it at the outset, based on my research, NJC and Nimi have never played against one another in a sweep. It's always gone 4 or 5. So you knew this one was likely not going to end up in a sweep, even the way NJC won the first 2 sets. Sophie Wood with the serve. Quick back up swing from Milken. Milken hammers it down for the kill, her 7th of the match. And gives herself the serve at 1-all in the 4th. Milken, short serve, fielded by Gavette. Kader, quick up. Apple punches it into a double. Back to the near pin. Ayala turned back by Apple and Mosley. Dug free back over. Back set Mosley. Big swing off the block and the kill. Transitioning from block to receive to offense in a matter of about 3 seconds. Samantha Mosley, she's playing great this weekend. 2-1 NJC. Evie Gavette with the serve. Gavette fires it down the far side. Quick set and under the net on the set went Tessa Watson, and that's 100% on the back row. When the dig is getting too close there, you can go under the set if you're not impeding the progress of the opposing team. The NIMI coach is arguing that, but you're close enough to the block that you're going to get that call, and that is not one of the reviewable offenses to the video system. NIMI coach is none too pleased, but it's not a reviewable offense, so you can't go to the video to determine if she was indeed impeding the progress. 3-1 NJC in the 4th. Serve fired down the middle, quick back, far pin, set into the block and the kill for Lustig. Lustig didn't have a kill in that 3rd set that the Broncos won. She now has 9 in the match with that one, 3-2, and the serve handed to Case Saito. Saito crawls the net court and tumbles down. That was a miss-hit ball that went her way. What a night out at Caliche tonight. I'll talk about that in a second as Saito fires it down the middle. Popped up back row. Free ball run over by Samantha Mosley. 10-foot line swing over the top of the block for Ayala for NIMI to the far pin. Barnes off the block. Diving dig up back row by Milken. Bump free over, goes outside the antenna. The Caliche volleyball team took out Stratton, who was a Saturday 6 team last year in straight sets, and the Buffalo football team just beat Stratton, the defending state champions, or the defending runners-up, pardon me. Cheyenne Wells was the champions, 34-24. We had Caliche last week against Pete's. They lost to Pete's, who drummed Briggsdale, or Weldon Valley tonight. Colorado Prep scoreboard show coming up at 9:30 over on 105.7 KPMX. A kill for Ramos Cora. 4-all as into serve comes Eduarda Bacilo. And the right side continues to be in that second position, Carola Schnidrich. Bacilo, too big and out on her service.
Number 4,
Caitlin Barnes to serve for NJC, up 5-4. Barnes, too big and out on her serve. Boy, after that under the net shenanigan and conversation between the NIMI head coach and R2, energy's kind of been sucked out of both sides of the net. Serve flop short. Gavette plays it into the net, and Kader cannot get a clean touch on the second one. How about another ace for Ayala? Broncos with 5 aces in the last 2 sets. 6-5. Punch down the middle. Nice receive by Shumway to the far pin. O'Trey. Oh, yeah. 9 kills in the match for Kiera Lowe O'Trey. 6-all. The serve to Kennedy Kerr. Serve far side, just too wide and out. So a service error for NJC. 2 of those in this 4th set. Evie Gavette back in on the back row, and number 5, Daniela's Ramos Cora. She had an ace last set for the Nittany Broncos. Ramos Cora tumbles it far side on Barnes to the far pin. Loie Outre splits the back line for the kill. 3rd Plainswoman with 10 or more kills in the match. And Kader will have the serve for the Northeastern Plainswomen. Kader fielded near side by Milken, far pin. Loie Outre and Talon Apple denying the right side swing of Schnidrig. 5th block of the match for Talon Apple, equaling Natalie Moore. 3rd block of the match for Kiera. 8-7 NJC. Serve knuckled down the middle. Back row swing. Nittany does such a great job on getting the back row attackers involved. Milken puts one down. That's her 8th of the match. Tessa Watson takes the serve as she comes back in as the setter. Short serve, popped up back row by Barnes. Back set, far side cross. Mosley with the kill. 3rd kill of the set, 14th of the match. Samantha Mosley, 17 earlier today. 14 last night. 45 kills, 6 hitting errors on the weekend for Mosley. Hitting about 390. 9-8 NJC as Sophie Wood punches a serve on May Uenawa, who is a new entry in this set. Uenawa on the receive, and too big and out goes Konwerska. Uenawa is in receiving for Ayala, who has played all 6. 10-8 NJC, they'll go at Uenawa. Set to the near pin. Short roll shot comes from Lustig. Out of system. Bumps that near pin. Mosley pipes it short. Nice job to stay in system. Lustig off the block of the net. Diving up by Gavette, and a free ball touched over by Kader. Set for a run up down the middle. Talon Epple, the solo denial. She read that run up backside from Milken. Epple with her 6th block of the night. NJC's 11th blocking point. They lead 11-8 in the 4th. Sophie Wood into the net on the serve. 3rd service error of the set. Plainswomen had 4 in the first set and hadn't had any since. Apparently they felt the net was feeling lonely. That's the only explanation I got. Milken. Serve far side fielded by Barnes. Back it up to the near side. And the blocking tandem of Ayala and Konwerska. Turn her back. 11-10. Milken looking for the tie. Knuckler nicely read and controlled by Wood to the far pin. Barnes blocked there. Turned back this time. Konwerska and Lustig with the turn back. 11-all. Short serve controlled by Wood. Kader, far pin. Barnes. Block had to hold on the middle. Dump back to the near corner and down and in. The setter kill for Watson as she dumped it to the near corner. And Coach Nelson up the edge of the line as her team's now down 12-11 on a 4-0 Nittany run. Milken looking for her 4th straight point, 1 on service. Bump up, far pin. Barnes block, covered by Kader. Back to Barnes, bumps that far pin, roll over short. Ayala controls it up, back to the far pin. Whistling too long and out. Goes Lustig. Still just one kill since the second set. Tied at 12 apiece, and Evie Gavette gets the serve. Gavette flops it near side, overpass on the receive. Gavette has to keep it up. Natalie Moore gets a punch over. Scramble for Nimi as they nearly got into a joust. Kader will set it up. Moore pushes it into the block, and Moore picks up kill number 7 of the match. 13-12 NJC. Gavette setting up far third on the line. Fly near side. Runner up, Konwerska. Down and in. Her second kill of the match. She'd been a factor in this fourth set. A kill, a pair of block assists. 13 all. The serve from Saito. Up by Barnes. Near pin, roll shot. Off the block of the net goes Mosley. Slide to the far pin, short tip, jumped up by Moore. Wood keeps it in play, and Barnes spins it deep. Up by Milken, back row. Far pin, pushed down the line, up by Gavette. Back to the near pin, off the block goes Mosley. Controlled up high, back row Milken. High up by Moore, bumps that to the far pin. Cross for Barnes on the near side. Saito runs it up to the near side, mistimed approach. Somehow went over for Ayala. Plainsman ping-pong it around and get it back. Far side run. Dig bounces off the backboard, then back toward the court. And nobody there to get it. Kill to Layla Ayala. That's 7 in the match for Layla Ayala. 14-13 Nimi. Saito's serve, controlled by Barnes. Back throw near side, Mosley, big rip. That is 15 kills in the match for Samantha Mosley, 46 on the weekend. She sits, and Maddie Shumway will come on to serve for her. Serve hammered near side, quick up, back row, touch over far line. Nice middle read there for Lustig. Lustig with 10 kills, first Bronco to double figures tonight. As she just tried to find herself a spot to put that ball. 15-14 Nemi. Mikhailo, part of the 6-2 substitution in. Far pin, Barnes, turned back, covered up by Gavette. Kader back to Barnes off the net this time. Down the line from Milken to the near pin. Ayala off the block. Chased down by Gavette. Kader to Barnes again, and just off the back foot. Never even got close to the net. Timeout by Coach Nelson as NJC's down 16-14. B&J Plumbing wants you to trust them when your plumbing problems arise. 970-522-3828. Plainsman Volleyball tomorrow night take on the number 3 team in the nation, the Barton Cougars. They're hoping for a 4-0 weekend for a second weekend in a row. Barton had a rough day today. Ended up finding win, but it was really a struggle for them, especially in that first match today against Laramie County Community College. Barton lost to Odessa in 3 after that, but played them close in all 3 sets. I actually thought they played better against Odessa than they did against El Trip, but they won the match against El Trip. It's just, again, getting those points at the right time, and now's the time for both these teams. 16-14. Nimi with the lead in the fourth. NJC up 2-1. This is that point. I mean, 2 points is nothing right now. You've seen both these teams run off 3-0 easily, and that could put NJC back in front. But a 3-0 here for Nimi could ensure we're headed to a 5th. Kyla with the serve out of the timeout. Flown down the middle, popped up by Gavette. Back row swing for Sophie Wood. Dug out backside, off the block. Gavette can't, off the block, cover it up, and Schnidrig gets the kill. Backstream or just this? Kylo. Serve near side, fielded by Shumway. Far pin, Barnes hops, hands at the net, and gets the kill. 13th kill of the match for Caitlin Barnes, and hands herself the serve, down 17-15. Barnes walking it up, firing it far side, set to the near pin, tooling the solo block at the net. Schnidrig with her second kill. Hands the serve to Ayala. Ayala fires it down the near side, up by Barnes, set for Moore, who arcs it to the far corner. Far pin swing, Schnidrig dug up by Shumway. Bump set, back row swing for Barnes, hops hands at the net. Saito handles it up to the near side, poke short, diving up back row, and a scramble 3 over. Run down near the line by Ayala, slide to the far pin. The block was there but couldn't turn it back. Ramos Cora with her 7th kill of the match. Plainswoman will bring Lisi in for Stella Kader, so Pahulu is the setter now for NJC. Down 19-15. Ayala with the serve. Ayala punches it down the middle, Plainswoman up, backside swing for Barnes. Up to the near pin, dig toward the rafters. Pahulu sets, far pin. Loie Utre, dig free over by Saito. Back to the far pin, Loie Utre, turned back at the net. Schnidrig with the block, 20-15 New Mexico Military. And NJC will utilize a timeout. This was 9 million times easier to find what you want to find on the streaming site. Plainswoman up 20-15, or down 20-15, 5 away, and now you got to focus on trying to build some momentum if you're going to carry it to the 5th set. You've already played a 5-setter last night, 4-setter earlier today that very easily could have been a 5-setter, and it just shows you the tightness of the competition here in this tournament and across the nation. Again, I said it earlier today, I haven't seen Florida Southwest, I have not seen Miami-Dade, I've not seen Weatherford. I've not taken the opportunity to watch them play yet. It's early in the season. But those are 3 of the top 4. We've seen Barton here. We've seen Odessa here. We've seen NJC this season. Nittany, Iowa Western, Colby, all here, all in the top 20. You know the level of play, and it's pretty even. 20-15 Nittany, 4th set, looking to force a 5th. Ayala with the serve. Short near side, fielded by Barnes. Pahulu backs at Moore, mistimed her jump and bangs it into the net. 21-15. Pahulu out, Kader back in. Lisi and Stella set 2 different balls. Kennedy Kerr's the other setter. But Kerr's already served in this set, so you couldn't use her in that setting position. She can only come in for Moore. Serve near side, fielded by Barnes. Back up to Natalie Moore, pinged off the back line. Saito, great chase down, and Nittany with the free over. Quick control up, Kader to Moore again. She finds the floor this time. Natalie with her 8th of the match. 21-16, and here Kennedy Kerr comes in to serve for Natalie Moore. Kerr Walks it up, whips it far. Saito misplays an ace for Kennedy Kerr. That's 4 in the match for Kennedy Kerr. 21-17, Plainswomen within 4. Kerr whips it far side, dug up back row, slide to the pin, denied back. Taylin Eppel and Kira Loeutre teaming up for the block. That is 7 blocks in the match for Taylin Eppel now. 21-18, serve whip far side, popped up back row, set near pin. Diving dig by Barnes as Kerr runs it down following the swing of Milken and a free ball over by Barnes. Set to the near pin. Milken down the line. Kerr couldn't get it dug up. Milken with kill number 9 tonight. Offense is running a little bit better with Bakilo out there. She struggled early. Rhythm has been found by that second setter, the sophomore. 22-18. Nimi 3 away from sending us to 5. Crossed up far side, up by Shumway. Back row swing. Barnes, big top, finds it in. Caitlin Barnes has 14 kills tonight. NJC back within 3, and Stella Carrere takes the serve. Would be an epic run to finish this one off in 4. Carrere walks it up and whips it just over the net cord. Diving up back row, set far side, couldn't close. And the kill goes to Schnidrig. 3 kills in this 4th set. Schnidrig puts it to 23-19 for a second set in a row, this time Nimiway. Watson. Big power far side, up by Loeutre. Backs at Mosley. Rips it into the block. Samantha Mosley, 16 kills tonight. 23-20. Kira Loeutre will serve for herself. Sophie Wood has been in, but NJC with the setter change running low on serves, or on subs. Serve for Loeutre near side. Near pin swing, far side, cross up Evie Gavette, bumps that to the far pin. Barnes split it up. Good deke by Loeutre to run at the line to split that block and open up an avenue for Caitlin Barnes to get it to the floor for her 15th kill of the match. 23-21. Loeutre just over the net cord on the near side. Forced out of system, back row swing, pop deep. From Milken, up by Gavette, back to Mosley, into the block for the kill. NJC is within 1. Nimi has both timeouts remaining. Neither is used here. Loeutre serves for the tie. Kira just over the net cord. Scramble out of system. Ball popped short. Gavette covered up. The pop from Milken. Back to Mosley. To the floor again. Samantha Mosley with 7 kills in this 4th set have tied us at 23. Whew. You say things as broadcasters and hope they come true. Need a big run. It'd be an epic one to finish it off in 4th. Just rewind it back about 3 minutes, 2 minutes. It works. Plainswomen on one of those. Having to serve Kira Loeutre, the reigning NJCAA National Player of the Week, who hasn't served for herself this weekend because of back row challenges that have required Sophie Wood to be in there, but short on subs. She serves here in the 4th, up 2 sets to 1, 23 all, and the Nimi Broncos will go to May Iwanawa in for Layla Ayala. Iwanawa came in earlier in this set on a defensive sub to try and command that back line. All 3 back line players from Japan. They'll go far side on Milken. Out of system, near side swing, crossed up. Loiu-Trey out of the net. Carrere gets it up, and then a free ball over by Gavette. Set to the near pin, big swing. On the line goes Lustig. Her 11th kill, third of this set, and Niemi has set point at 24-23, and Coach Nelson is challenging that ball was in right in front of the Plainswoman bench. If she wins the challenge, it's match point NJC. There was enough screenage of bodies between me and that line. I did not have a good look at that one to be able to determine if that was in or out. Coach Nelson confidently marched over to get her green card. She'd lost one challenge already in this match, but you get an extra one if you go to the fifth, so you may as well use that one right now. It was close enough that she felt confident to be able to provide that challenge, and it uses essentially as a timeout, which she's out of, to steady that back line that if you don't get the overturn, all right, remember guys, here's how we receive. This is what we need to do. This is where we're going on this server, because now you've seen all these servers enough times. You know what their serving tendencies are. Coach Burns Lepke has definitely been able to track some of that. She is she is invaluable as an assistant. She sees a lot of things on the floor that a lot of players that become coaches don't typically see. Great relationship between those two coaches, both of whom added or changed last names this summer, only to confuse me because I've only known them for 20 years. It's only like 5 on the Burns Lepke side, but she was actually here as a player under Coach Nelson her first year as an assistant coach. Was a part of the run that is now 7 straight years at Nationals that began in 2018 with the win of the Region 9 championship for the first time in 16 years. And NJC has been at the national tournament every year since and has ascended to one of the elite programs in the nation, kind of simultaneously to what Niemi has done in being one of those regular competitors down in Region 5. We have not seen a lot of in-out challenges this weekend on this system. A little bit longer time there. Conversation. Either way, it's a set point. If it's overturned, it's match point for NJC. And it is not overturned, so it will be set point for Niemi at 24-23. And Michelle Milken will serve. You had that second challenge, so you use it. Now you don't have one until we head to the fifth, if we head to the fifth. But again, whole conversation was about let's figure out where we receive, because you still have to have Loiu-Trey out there on the back line. She's not been on the back line on this Friday. Milken's serve goes right at Loiu-Trey. Bumps at Kader to the big cross from Samantha Mosley. 19 kills in the match. 8 in this set. Squares us at 24 and hands the serve to Evie Gavette. Gavette flops it short, mishandled, kept in play, and the push just gets over. Controlled by Moore to Barnes, big swing to the near side, and Saito. Near pin, Ayala turned back at the net. Samantha Mosley and Natalie Moore give the Plainswomen a match point. Niemi has a timeout. They're not using it. 25-24, Gavette to win this in 4. Punches it near side on Ayala, overpass. Caitlin Barnes turns it down, and the Plainswomen come from behind, down 5 in the 4th, and take the win 26-24 in 4.
Okay.
The Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen take the win, and in for NJC is now 3-0 on the weekend. Post-match show next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
No, you have to. But I thought you said Natalie.
No, sorry. Her service runs are too good.
Natalie did get to 10th all time. We have it on video. We're going to do something on social.
Yeah. Will you tag us in it so we
Yep.
can repost it? Yeah. Or will you like collab with us? Yeah.
Okay. You had 4 aces, 20. Yes.
I'm scared.
You're fine.
It's not that bad.
I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. We're just going to talk and figure out what the hell happened. So, rejoin NJC. Thank you. There's 4? Yeah, it's 4. I don't need that. I've got that full here. So.
You want the 4 or?
No, I need the full is what I need. Yes, that's you. Sorry. I'm on my own thing. Oh, God damn it.
Back inside the Bank of Colorado Event Center, the Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen take the win in 4 against New Mexico Military. An exciting comeback, 26-24 in the fourth. I'm Ben Blecka, and I'm joined by our DDC Plainswoman of the contest, Kennedy Kerr. You had some incredible service runs tonight. What are you feeling at the line when you go out there on these runs? I mean, you've always, I've watched you grow up. You've always been a good server, but you seem like you found a different gear here at NJC. What's been that key?
Just to do my job. I just want to do my job for my teammates and make the most out of what I do for them.
You came in, and you're of course a setter. You are in a battle with 3 other setters. What was that like during the preseason training?
I think both of the other setters are very talented, and we just support each other. So no matter who's on the court, we're doing what's best for the team, and I think we just do a very good job of supporting each other.
Is it hard to step in because you're only in there in a half rotation to serve? Is it hard to mentally stay engaged in a match?
Sometimes yes, but not when our girls are playing as good as they are. It's very easy to stay engaged and just watch them do their thing.
Volleyball's kind of been your life, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you're from a volleyball family.
Yes.
And I've seen you at high school games this year. Is it fun just to go from gym to gym? Sometimes your player, sometimes your daughter, sometimes your sister?
Yes, it's awesome. I just love the sport of volleyball and the culture. It's great.
Talk with me about the sisterhood on this team, because I've been around here 17 years. I've not seen chemistry like this.
We just support each other so well, and I don't feel like there's any jealousy whatsoever, and everybody buys into what coach is doing and just wants best for the team.
Who has the best dance moves on the team?
Olivia.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. I think you guys are just down there dancing and having fun. You guys have had to work hard last weekend, this weekend. What's it going to take to get one more tomorrow for you guys?
Just do what we did tonight. I thought we came together great as a team when we weren't doing our best, and so just leaning on one another and trusting each other to do our jobs.
Absolutely. Congratulations on the win tonight. Thank you for joining me. Kennedy Kerr, our DDC Plainswoman of the contest. And the Plainswomen, you need great service runs. You need players that understand the value of those service runs. How big is it to have a just strict service specialist that's a setter like her that understands it?
She's insane, and honestly, last night may not have been her best serving game, but I just kind of had a feeling that she was just going to run with it. And then the very first time that she went in, I think she went on like a 5-6 point service run, and that's just huge to do, not only when you're coming off the bench cold, but as a true freshman to do that, I'm just super, super proud of her.
You guys have kind of had to make it up as you go along on that back row, and you have a lot of options, which is good. Sophie Wood was great earlier today. Maddie Shumway, I thought, served really well here tonight, and that's just got to be nice because you need players, you need depth, and it seems like next man up mentality is what those girls have.
No, it really is. And one thing that we focused on a lot this year is that even in practice, we're mixing up teams, we're mixing up who's on what side, so that way when we do make those subs, that it's an easy flow, easy transition. And I thought everyone that came in did a fantastic job. I mean, even Lisi coming in just to give Stella kind of that mental break was huge.
You guys had 13 blocks in 4 sets tonight, and Natalie Moore topped Zoe T for 10th on the all-time list. She's phenomenal, but I don't even think she was the best blocker on your team tonight. I think it was Taylin Eppel.
Taylin's one of those players that she kind of ebbs and flows right now of, okay, are we going to be super offensive or are we going to be super defensive? And I truthfully think these last 2 games have been her best balanced game, but she's one that I can look at and I say, Taylin, I need you to shut her down, and she's going to do it. Yeah,
she did it, but then Natalie Moore. I mean, not only was Natalie coming up with the blocks 6 on the stats, she had 8 kills. Your middles haven't been set a lot until today. And Stella really seemed like she found a rhythm with him.
It is, and I think that's a big credit to our back row because we can't get our middles going if we're not passing well. And I think that's what happened a little bit in that third set is that Nimi was a little bit more aggressive behind that service line and got us out of system, and we couldn't rely on those middles as much. But that's also something that we've been focusing a lot on in practice is that we're not going to win games just sending the ball to the pins. We've got to be able to get the middles involved. So I think our girls are doing a really good job of what we're asking of them and making the adjustments as we go.
You only have 1 match, which is weird in this tournament. Usually we play 2 on Saturday. And the match is tomorrow night at 7:30. How are you going to carry this 24 hours or 22 at this point before you take the court again?
Honestly, we're just going to let our girls rest. I think that's a huge thing for them right now. I know our bodies are getting tired, as so is everybody else's in the nation, but get a lot of rest and watch some film in the morning and then get right back after it. And definitely win that serve pass game is going to be huge for us because Barton really likes to set their middle, so if we can get them out of system, we'll be in good shape.
Second best win I got to see today.
There we go.
Kalichi swept Stratton earlier.
Heck yeah,
tonight.
love to see it.
I will take that, Coach Nelson. Thank you for joining me. Northeastern Plainswomen win in 4. They're 3-0 on the weekend. The Plainswomen will be back in action tomorrow at 7:30 against Barton, but action starts at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. So join us here at the Bank of Colorado Event Center. I'm Ben Black at Plainswomen beat Nimi in 4 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
I've been parking in